Okay, I'm making this video for Dan on how to make the capital P, B, and R, same form of the letter, just different extensions at the end. So basically, when I make these letters, and I'm using my brand new Taccia, I can't pronounce the last two names, but this pen's a real beauty. It's made by Sourai, I believe, for Taccia, including a Sailor 18 karat gold nib. In this case, I'm trying a slightly bigger nib and medium nib. Still loaded with Iroshizuku Yamabudo ink. Essentially, when I make my letters and what I call my calligraphic cursive script, I work with a 3:1 or 1:3 proportion. In other words, my X height for my lowercase letters fill up the bottom line, and that is, the capitals are 3 times that height in size. And so and that goes whether I'm writing smaller or larger here, and I'll demonstrate both for you in a moment. When I write cursive script, I have a certain slant that I use, and if you look carefully underneath this paper, I have my slant angles that I always work with to help me achieve the proper slant, because there's more than just forming the letter. It has to be on a proper slant angle. So as you can see here, a smaller one, I've got 1, 2, 3 spaces tall. And for the larger one, I use double the space. So these 2 lines is the X height, these 2 lines, and then these 2 lines from the upper part of the capital letter. And just to give you an idea of how the lowercase letters fit into this, it's just this one area down here. And so I'll go ahead and make a lowercase e here, like this. And here it would be twice the space, like this. All right, but there have been all different types of proportions used. Some traditional forms of cursive, old school cursive would give a 1:2, I'm sorry, where one X height in the capital will only be double that size, twice as high. So let's go ahead and make this particular form of the P shape. All right, and I'll start with the smaller letter form first, which spans 3 spaces, and I got to make sure I'm on this proper slant angle. So here we go. I'll break it down after I finish it. Okay, and so what you notice here, a little fumble there at my line, but what you notice here is that there's essentially certain key elements to this. One is that I start the thing, the letter here, in the middle of the second space. I end it in the middle of the second space. Why is that important? Because that also allows me to take the same form and form it into an R, like this, or come around and form it into a B. And I'll try and demonstrate that for you, but it's the same basic form. Moving on to the larger size letter form, and this is now basically a much larger letter form. This I wouldn't recommend unless you've got some experience doing this. So because I want to start this at the middle of what would be the second space, that's in here, so I'd be aiming for this part here. All right, and I would end it there as well. And I would be putting the little backwards point on my P at the middle of the at the middle point of the upper space. So that would be here as well. All right, so that's what I'm going to shoot for. I'm going to go ahead and form this now, like this. Then swing it up and around like that. And as I said, I can make this into a B by coming around this way, and I'll mimic the back end of it like that. And if you want to change that proportion, you can. I think from my perspective, I think I dropped this down a little bit too low. But there's all different ways to do this. So let me make a different uppercase B here, using this, bringing this up a tiny bit. So again, like this. And I think you'll agree this is a much more aesthetic, at least to my eye, aesthetically pleasing B. What do I see about this that's worth mentioning? Well, again, I bring this up to about the mid portion here like that. That's also approximately a little above that where I would end the first upper loop and come around to form that. And if I wanted to make this into an R, I would make that same loop but come down like this. And that would form the R. You're looking for similarity in forms. And that pretty much does it. I'm actually pretty happy with the medium point on this. I think it's good for this size letter form. And a lot of what I post online is actually written in this size letter form. For those who are curious, I use Rhodia R premium paper, the line paper. I prefer to, make my letter forms on that. And that's about it. Thank you for your attention. Hope that helped.